Hi, welcome back to the Lude School of Real Estate YouTube channel. I'm Kumar Jaramdas, your licensed real estate instructor. And today we're going to talk a little bit about a really great question I received about what do real estate agents do in their 6 to 12 months after licensure? What does it look like for their practice? What does it look like for their career outlook? What does it look like for their financial profitability? These are all really great questions. And so before we answer that question, I just want to bring to your attention that in order to become a licensed real estate agent in Florida, you have to complete the 63-hour pre-licensing course. And then after you complete this pre-licensing course, you're going to register to take the state licensing exam. You're going to also register for fingerprints. You're going to apply to the Florida Real Estate Commission. They're going to do some checks, some background check, um, and some fingerprints. So it's a number of different things. Then you sit for the exam. You can actually take the exam as many times as you want. And after this is done, then you are granted a license, and that license needs to be activated by a broker. So you would essentially hang your license at a real estate brokerage. And contrary to popular belief, a licensed real estate agent is not a licensed independent entity. The licensed real estate agent has to practice under the supervision of a licensed real estate broker. So that's really important. And until that real estate agent affiliates with a brokerage in Florida, that real estate agent's license is not considered active yet. It's considered inactive. And so uh, what we're going to go through now is just to talk a little bit about what do the 6 to 12 months after getting your license look like for a lot of agents. So in my opinion, I think the first 6 to 12 months as an agent need to be a lot about training and education. And so it's really important for the licensed real estate agent to pick a brokerage where the broker is going to spend time educating the agent. It's going to spend time investing time and energy into helping the agent figure out how to do real estate transactions. So whether you realized it or not, your 63 hours of pre-licensing education does not actually teach you how to be an agent or how to practice or how to conduct any sales or marketing. You don't really learn any of that in your 63 hours pre-licensure course. Your 63 hours pre-licensure course is more about laws, rules, regulations, federal laws, state laws, ethics, how not to break the law, how not to get sued, how not to go to jail. Those are really important things that the Florida Real Estate Commission wants licensed real estate agents to know before they even practice. If you really want to learn how to practice, you have to affiliate with a brokerage where they're going to spend time investing energy and time into educating you on how to conduct real estate transactions. Whether it's on the buyer side or the seller side, these are two very different types of transactions. And then it's also important within 2 years of receiving your license, you have to complete your post-licensing education. Your post-licensing education is where you actually learn a lot about how to be a licensed real estate agent, how to complete transactions, about sales, about marketing, about business plan. This is the education that you receive that's going to really help make a big difference in your ability to practice as a real estate agent. Unfortunately, a lot of agents wait until that 2-year mark, until their license is almost expired before they do this 45-hour post-licensing education. So you spend 63 hours to do pre-licensing, you get licensed, you hang your license with a broker. Hopefully it's with a broker that's going to sit and teach you. And then sometime before your license expires, usually 2 years after you get your license, you have to complete 45 hours of post-licensure education at the sales associate level. And my opinion is that the licensed agent should really be completing these 45 post-licensure hours as soon as possible. My recommendation would be to get your license and not to activate it right away. My recommendation is to do your 63-hour pre-licensure course, take your exam, pass the exam, get your license, and then immediately take your 45-hour post-licensure course. And my reasoning for that is that you're not really going to know what to look for in a broker until you take this course and you understand the value that certain types of education have, certain types of mentorship have, until you understand what these contracts are, until you understand the the transactional occurrences that happen in the buy side and the sell side. And you're also going to be able to pick out bad brokers and good brokers. I will tell you, there are a lot of 100% commission brokerages out there, especially in Florida. There's low commission brokerages, but when you're a brand new agent, you don't need the low commission and no commission brokerage. You need a broker that's going to really sit down with you and walk with you and talk with you, hold your hand through transactions. If you don't do well in a real estate transaction, if you make a lot of critical mistakes because someone's not supervising you, you can get sued because you are a licensed agent, you are a licensed real estate professional, and now you have some legal duties and responsibilities. And that's kind of scary. So it's really important to have a broker that's going to walk with you through that transaction and who's going to help you understand what to do and what not to do, what contracts to use, when to consult a real estate attorney, when to have discussions with the lender, when to have discussions with the home inspector, when other inspections might be necessary. You're not going to know if certain occurrences are normal or abnormal because you don't have any experience yet. And so the very first thing I think that a new agent should do is to take their post-licensing education. And then after they take their post-licensing education, I think they should hang their license with a broker. And you should spend time getting to know multiple brokers before you make that important decision to hang your license with a broker. It's not uncommon for a broker to do a split in which they take 50% of your commission the first 3 deals that you do, because it's those first few deals that you do as a new agent that you're going to make the most mistakes, that you're going to have the least clue about what to do, and it's going to be a very slow process for you. So having a licensed broker or a senior agent or a team leader go through those processes with you is going to be so critical for you your very first year. So your first 6 to 12 months is really about learning what to do, what not to do, how not to get sued, what to say, what not to say, what forms, what contracts, what transactions to use, when to contact certain professionals, when something's not right, when something is going the way that it should, how to advise your clients, and how to calm your clients down during really difficult parts of the transaction. And if you don't have this training, if you jump immediately into a low cost or no cost, no commission brokerage, it's really I feel like that's going to be really detrimental for the brand new agent because you don't have that hand holding. When you're an experienced agent, you can go to a low brokerage, low commission brokerage, or low split brokerage, or no split brokerage, or a fee for transaction brokerage. Essentially, those brokers and brokerages are not going to invest any time with you. They're not going to do very much for you. They're not going to give you many resources. They're not going to hold your hand because you already have experience. You don't need anyone to do that. At this point in time, I'm part of a brokerage where they don't do a lot of support. It's because I don't need a lot of support. But in the very beginning, as a new agent, you definitely need that support. And so I had mentioned earlier that I think that new agents should spend their time getting their post-licensing education as soon as possible, learning as much as they can, getting to know different brokers, going to networking events, asking questions, joining their local real estate associations, going to continuing education, just learning as much as they can. And whether you know this or not, realize this or not, when you sit to take your exam, when you make an application to the licensing board, and when you get your license, then all the brokerages in Florida know that you have a license, and they'll be sending you postcards. They'll be calling you. They'll be sending you letters in the mail. They'll be texting you. Everybody will want you to join their brokerage, and you should interview a lot of brokers. And if you take your 45-hour post-licensing education after you get your license, you're going to know what to ask. You're going to know what to expect. You're going to be able to talk intelligently to these brokers, and they're going to be very impressed because I can tell you most agents don't get their post-licensing education before they join a brokerage. And I really encourage you to do that. And so what we're going to do now is Duluth School of Real Estate does offer post-licensing education for brand new agents that finished their 63-hour pre-licensing course and just got licensed. And by the way, you should not take post-licensing until you actually have your license. I mean, you can if you really want to, but it's not going to count toward your license until you actually have your license. So I recommend not taking the post-licensing course until after you get your license. And so what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you how you can access online. So we're here at www.luteschool.realestate. We're at the Lutz School of Real Estate website. From the website, you're going to click on the class portal. And here we are in the class portal. At the beginning of the portal, it's encouraging you to go to the YouTube page because we use the YouTube in conjunction with our class portal. And what you're going to do, if you're not already licensed as a real estate agent in Florida and you want to become licensed, you would click on real estate licensing. Your state is Florida. You would click sales associate. And then you have 4 different options now. By the way, if you would like to take the pre-licensing course in Spanish, we now offer the real estate pre-licensing course in Spanish. Very excited about that. And so we've got 3 options for the pre-licensure 63-hour course. I would highly recommend the pre-licensure professional track. There's also the pre-licensure real estate career accelerator, and that's advanced training that you would get and more intensive training than you would get in the real estate professional track. But the professional track is really what you absolutely need. This will give you your pre-licensure course plus the exam prep. And then you get in this one here, the pre-licensure course plus exam prep plus career coaching and training after you get your license. Okay, so we were talking about post-licensing. So let's say you already have your license, you went to the Lutz School of Real Estate, you did your pre-licensing, you took your exam, you passed your exam, amazing. Now we're going to go to real estate post-licensing. And at the sales associate level, you're going to sign up for the post-licensing education, and you're either going to do the basic post-licensing, which is this one right here, version 12, or you're going to do post-licensing education for the real estate associate career accelerator. So this is everything included in the post-licensing education, the 45-hour course, and except you get the career accelerator package as well. And with the career accelerator, these are online video courses and coaching teaches you how to turn your real estate licensing education and foundation for a successful career. You've got meet weekly with experienced industry professionals in a live coaching group sessions, dive into relevant topics, 8 hours of online training, easy to absorb online video course format with PDF workbook. And there's also going to be a 6-month trial to a customer relationship manager to help track real estate activities, leads, contacts, and 6 months access to goal tracking software. So a lot of stuff to really help jumpstart your real estate career. That's not necessary. What is absolutely necessary is this right here, is your basic post-licensing 45-hour course. And in this course, this is where you're going to learn how to conduct business in Florida real estate industry, understand the latest market developments, updated and ungraded practice exam will help you prepare for the final exam. Essentially, it teaches you how to be a real estate agent in Florida. This is where you actually learn how to practice. All right. And so that was in a nutshell what it looks like your first 6 to 12 months as a licensed agent. Like I said before, I really recommend that you take your 63-hour licensing course, do your exam, and then I recommend before you activate your license with a broker, I recommend doing your 45-hour post-licensing course as soon as possible. Get it out of the way, get it all done, and you only have to do that 45-hour post-licensing course just one time. After that, every 2 years, you just have to do 14 hours of continuing education. And yes, you can get that at the Lutz School of Real Estate as well. So if you're already a licensed agent and you need your 14 hours, you can get that here at Lutz School of Real Estate. After you've done your 45-hour post-licensing education, and then you would want to start talking to brokers. You will, I promise you, 50 brokers are going to reach out to you. They're going to keep reaching out to you even after you get your license to see if you want to switch over to the brokerage. But once you do that 45-hour post-licensing, you're going to know what to ask. You're going to know the questions to ask. You're going to know the things to look for. And you're not going to get stuck into a brokerage that you didn't realize what was going to happen when you got into that brokerage because you just didn't know what to look for. All right, so that is what to expect your first 6 to 12 months post-training, post-licensure, I should say. And during this time, hopefully you get your first few leads, maybe make a sale. But the biggest focus of your first 6 to 12 months is really focusing on your foundational education, setting up the best foundation for your career as a licensed real estate agent. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. If you liked what you saw here today, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Please tell your friends and colleagues about it, and we will see you in the next video. Thanks so much.